The Wednesday week is sponsored by the Riverside Cafe, the perfect place for a pre-match pint.
There's a chance here, a great save, a turner from McClare. Might come, a terrific goal by Sheridan. Brexman against Jones. Get in. You could have two goalkeepers in there that would have trouble saving.
Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and a very warm welcome to the Wednesday Week, the Sheffield Wednesday podcast. I'm Lord Hillsborough, and with me on the line first of all, we have Victoria, my darling. How the chuff are you?
Hello, my lord. I'm all right, thank you. I've decided to show some pride and some dedication and record this week, despite the fact I'm in hospital first thing tomorrow morning, because, you know, we've had complaints and that, haven't we? So need to sort my life out. If I'm going to do a free podcast, I should at least put the effort into doing it every week. So my bad, sorry.
I think it's lovely that people miss us when we're away, Victoria. People appreciate what we do, and I think that's fantastic.
Oh, yeah, I don't mind that. It's when you get actually shouted at. It's like, oh, do you want a refund, mate? You're not paying for it. Bloody hell. Anyway, like I said, I'll try and do a live broadcast tomorrow morning from the Hallamshire Hospital as well, just in case.
Oh, we know what you're going to hospital for, Victoria, so maybe not the best thing to expose.
True. Hey, I could make some money off it.
Absolutely. Who needs advertising revenue when we've got Victoria's bits showing themselves all over South Yorkshire? Look out for that, ladies and gents. It's going to be fun. Also on the line with us, we've got Fudge or Bean. How the chuff are you?
I'm here. Can you hear me? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me?
Can hear you coming in loud and clear, old Bean.
I tell you what it is, right? The medium in which we are recording through this evening, I haven't used in a long time, and there's been some serious updates, and I'm just pouring at it, and I'm like the Americans with the metric system. You know what I mean? Just giving it a try.
We're doing it via MSN Messenger next week, Fudge.
Oh, lovely. 86 location. Be on it.
True story. I used to webcam with Eddie on MSN Messenger.
Is this when he used to dress up as Maverick from Top Gun?
Yes. Yes, it was. It was. Memories. So many memories. He once wore a tuxedo as well. That was a good one.
Oh, he's
I used to look forward to like my Wednesday night chats with Eddie on MSN.
Ew.
And then he goes on skiing holidays now. Does he wear a tuxedo for that? And dressed like Maverick.
Is that something that you used to pay Eddie money to watch, Victoria, with your lovely Wednesday night chats?
I don't like to go into my personal life.
Right then, ladies and gents, so let's crack on with some football chat, shall we? And of course, first of all, we have the wonderfulness, which ended up being the Leeds game. I must admit I was a little bit worried about this one. We haven't been doing fantastically well just recently, but all in all, after a while and a few heartaches, it turned out to be a rather lovely day, didn't it?
Oh, it was a great day for us, wasn't it, my lord? It was just like everything came as one. All thanks to the saviour of Sheffield Wednesday Football Club, Sir Atty of Newhugh. What a legend. What a guy. I've never, honestly, I screamed 3 times during that game for all 3 goals. I won't tell you what I screamed when we conceded, but I was just, over the moon, just absolutely over the moon.
Now, of course, Fudge, you have had your doubts about Atty. Are you now a convert to the Church of Newhugh?
I think it's referred to as agnostic. I am Atty-gnostic. Do you know what I mean? So, like, you and I have spoken for, in depth on this show a lot of times about Atty Newhugh. How long's he been with us now? Is it like 4 or 5 years he's been with us or something ridiculous?
Absolutely, he's always been in our hearts.
This seems to be under Joss, everybody seems to be playing terribly, apart from Atty Newhugh. I find it incredible. But, I'm happy that somebody who's been with the club for so long is reaping the benefits of the faith that's been put in him and all the rest of these wonderful cliches that we're going to say to try and backpedal and now turn around and say, actually it's not as bad as what we've all been saying. We've been scapegoating him for a lot of years, and
I'll have you now been a fan.
We spoke about it when Carlos left.
Do not include us in your we there.
I'm very aware that you two have made on Microsoft Publisher 97 your own little Atinu fan club membership cards, and you all get together and talk about Atinu and you all refer to yourself as Dave and Davina all night, and you get like a little count. I know you do that, and that's like that.
Do you know what, Fudge? You'll like this, right? My mum came round tonight before Fat Club, and she said, I bought you a present, and she got like her hands behind her back, and she gave me a T-shirt that says, "What a difference a Dave makes" on the front. However, I already own that T-shirt because I've seen one as well. So I've got two.
Well, there you are, then, you see.
Brilliant.
If you're listening, listeners, that's why we've not been recording, because Dave Club had a special get-together on Tuesday last week, and they all got together. They had their little T-shirts on and the membership cards, and put torches on each other's faces, going, "Tell me your best time when you met Dave. It's fantastic, isn't it?" Pretending to do microphones. That's what they do on a Tuesday. That's what they do.
If anyone wants to buy one of those T-shirts, they're about $6.99 on the moment. So I'd like to see people wearing them. Let's make this like the Pickle. Whoever this random bloke is, who's like probably based in some sort of like cabin in Weymouth, making these T-shirts, and all of a sudden he's getting all these orders in from Sheffield. He'll have no idea.
Sorry. I continue to speak about football. My apologies. I started a thing there, and now I've just got you two in my head, just with the duvet over your head with torches. But anyway, sorry. Yes. So it's great that New Hugh's scoring goals, especially given the time when our squad is so depleted, and it's nice to see somebody stepping up and taking the mantle. I mean, that win. Not only let's take the emotion out of it, that it's a local derby and it's the dirty Leeds, but a win, an away win as well. And we did it, well, Christ, we made everybody sweat for it, didn't we? It was one of the worst games of football I'd seen until 20 minutes to go, and then all of a sudden it absolutely shot into life. And I need to thank the people on Twitter that sent me the Dave celebration gif after he scored, when he slid across the snow and left two. I nearly said when he left 3 big marks in the snow. You can use your imagination where the third one is there. And I need to thank people for that. But I genuinely, it's nice. I'm really happy for him. I really am. And long may it continue. Even now we've got Cheeky Nando coming back. That's something I'm assuming we'll get into later on. But fair play to him.
Absolutely super. And how nice was it to have Mr. Hutch back in the fold, doing what Mr. Hutch does so well, just breaking up that play. It's just so lovely to have him back, isn't it?
Well, did you do what Hutch does? Because it was 65 minutes when the man got booked. I was starting to think something had happened. But in true Hutch fashion, right, you can do Hutch Bingo, and there's always 2 bets, isn't there, in Hutch Bingo? How long till he gets injured and how long till he gets booked? And he managed to do them both at the same time, which was very, very impressive from Mr. Sam.
Very kind of him too, Victoria.
Yeah. Well, this is it, you see. I love the way that Atinu managed to score somebody £1 million on the Sky Bet Super 6. And also, Hutch managed to F up Hutch Bingo all in one fell swoop. So, it was a game of luck all year round, all day round, wasn't it?
But just having him there to break up that play, make those wonderful slide tackles that he does, and when he makes those slides, he's down and he's up again, super fast as well. It's like a keeper making a save and getting back up, and Hutch is back up again, super quick.
Well, it's a foul, isn't it? The majority. He's a very, very classy player in some respects, but it's a Hutch slide tackle. I would rather take a Tom Lee slide tackle that isn't going to probably break every bone in my body over a Hutch slide tackle any day. Whether it's a foul or not, it's still pretty much a career ender if he catches you at the wrong point. Whereas Tom Lee's, he just comes in, takes it nicely and runs home, doesn't he?
But far from his footballing abilities, I mean, just looking at the team as a whole, when Hutch is back there, he's in that position, he's making those wonderful tackles, he's breaking up the play, everybody just seems a little bit calmer knowing that Hutch is there to do what Hutch does. And that, to me, really sort of enveloped the performance. I thought it was really, really good just to have Hutch as part of the team, because it just settled everybody down. Yeah,
I think it let us settle a little bit, didn't it? And it gave us because I am on the fence with Sam Hutchinson a lot of the time.
What?
In some respects, I absolutely love him. You know what I mean? I'm a bit gay for him. In other respects, I'm bored of you diving in. I'm bored of you getting injured. You know what I mean? I'm bored of you getting booked. But still, gay for Sammy Hutchinson. I'm really torn, like two polar opposites of how I feel about him sometimes. But I think you're right. I think it did let us settle as well, because I'm going to say something now, and I'm this, like I said to you, I'm still remaining positive. But Pelopessi, what's he all about?
What do you mean?
Like,
He's a handsome chap as well, though, Fudge.
I think he looks like a Wallace and Gromit character. Look at him.
Oh.
He's got Japanese anime eyes.
He's beautiful.
Nah, not.
He looks a little bit greasy, I'll give you that, but I still, 11 out of 10 would bang.
He's not got the good-looking boyish charms of Reach and Hutchinson, I'm afraid. But anyway, Pelopessi, to me, I don't see what his massive qualities are. You know what I mean? Now, I've not seen a lot of him. I'll be honest. I've been moving house and I've been moving jobs, and my absence on this podcast has been, will show what type of input I've had into being able to put into my football team. But Pelopessi, I am very much not having him, and I don't know what he brings to the team. And given when we got Hutch, Bannon, Lee, and to some extent Fletcher coming back to the team, where is he going to fit in? Because what does he bring to the team? I mean, this is a genuine question and not a criticism. What does he bring to the team?
Well, he wasn't injured, wasn't he? That was the main point. We brought somebody who wasn't injured and could do a job while everyone else was in the sickbed. That's pretty much it, isn't it?
Big tick.
I think he's probably one of those that we just need to keep an eye on and just see. But I'm quite happy with him as backup. More happy than I am to have Butterfield as backup for Hutch. I think you talk polar opposites. That is two polar opposites right there. I get your point, but I think the point was that at the time we had no other option. We had to do something, and we did. And it's not done that well in the meantime. It's kept us afloat, but we're still coughing and spluttering. But yeah, with Hutch back, obviously Barry Bannon came back on. I think it's a time to be positive. As positive as you can be when you're still staring relegation in the face. But I think, it is what it is. And chances are that these players coming back, one of them will get some sort of injury in the first game, as we've seen with Hutch. But he's there as backup, isn't he? I don't think anyone sees him as a first team regular when you've got the likes of Fessi and Fletcher and Hutch and Bannon all back to full strength. But yeah, he's all right to have in the background. And his hair looks plastic. It's so shiny. It's like Ross from Friends. It's so shiny.
It's like it looks like to me like a Lego hair. Like you just like get a Lego bit and just stick it on. Is that what he does in the morning?
Imagine, you like James's beard? Can you imagine if we got whatever Pelopessi uses on his hair and did it on James's beard? It'd look incredible, wouldn't it?
Yes, yeah, it would.
No, I think Pelopessi is one for the future, isn't he? Obviously, due to the injuries and things, he's essentially had to play. But I do think he's looking towards the future. Quickly, just whipping back to another point that you made there, Hutch. Fudge. Let's not do that again. The Hutch situation was mentioned by Hutch and Carlos and a few people that Hutch plays when he feels that he is fit to play, and obviously then gets injured again. Now we've heard stories in the press that Hutch has obviously he's mentioned to people that he's fit to play, and he's not being fit to play. Simple as that. So I think Joss has sort of held him back and made sure he is actually ready to play. So fingers crossed this is going to sort of cut out all that injury thing. And it's not just Hutch, it's sort of all the other injured members of the team. Fessi was in and out last season. Bannon was playing with a bad foot. I believe he was having injections, as far as my memory serves, just so he could play football games. And I think this long period of getting better, bed rest, is certainly going to sort those chaps out. But of course, it wasn't all plain sailing for the game, was it, boys and girls? Obviously, when Leeds did equalise, did you guys think, oh heck, here we go, we've done a Wednesday?
Yeah,
100%.
Like I said, can't tell you what I shouted. I don't use that word very often, and I used it in a plural form. It's yeah.
Can it be described as how Yorkshire people say couldn't?
I would describe it as a significant player in our back four, but with a different consonant at the beginning. But yeah, the whole, like, literally, to coin a Fudge phrase, my arse fell out at that point. It was just like, for Christ's sake, Wednesday, like, what are we doing? And then, of course, like we've seen with the old knee slide, saviour of Sheffield Wednesday, Sir Atty of Newhugh, stood up to the plate. So it all came good again. And do you know what? Out of all the gains, for him to come and score the goal that the team had let us down by conceding that first goal from Leeds, for Atty to pull it back was just, I couldn't have written it, honestly. I'm going to have to rip up my novel that I'm writing because that ending's already been done now. That was it. That's what it needed.
that was ended to a post-apocalyptic love story.
Yeah, it was just that. If I was, like, you've got to see this, my lord, as well. If you could have said any player on that pitch would rescue those 3 points or those extra 2 points, you would have wanted it to be Atty, wouldn't you? I think most people would, actually, lovers or haters. Either that or Joe Wildsmith, just bop one in at the other end. But it was just perfect, wasn't it? And I can honestly say, despite the fact I have been on it recently, and James wasn't, that is the first time I've watched football on 5 in a hell of a long time.
Oh, poor James.
Because James is away. I think there's also another player that has managed to change my opinion of him recently. And I remember you did a podcast about 4 weeks ago that I couldn't get on because I was at work. And I was chomping at the bit to get on it as well because I wanted to come on and slag off George Boyd hard. Absolutely just wanted to just tear into him and say he's not the player that he used to be. I remember back in the day, and we're only talking like 3 or 4 years ago, he used to maraud down that right-hand side and absolutely destroy fullbacks and defenders. And we haven't got that player. We've just got some shadow of him. And that's what I was going to say. However, I thought against Leeds, he actually had a very solid game. I thought, he was a joy to watch. And I felt that needed mentioning, as well as Lucas Yao as well. He's an odd player, isn't he? He runs like a daddy long legs on a urinal in the summertime, but he's a difficult player to defend against. I think his shielding of the ball is excellent, and we seem to have got this weird little combination now of two big lads up front just absolutely grafting away. I so much want this Jordan Rhodes move to work out. I want Jordan Rhodes to be starting and playing every game. But somehow, it's like Lucas and Zhao have set up this little club, just like you two on your Dave Club on a Tuesday.
Lucas and Zhao?
Sorry.
Both of them.
That's it. Dave and Zhao. Actually, I read a story today from this woman who professed to be a sports writer. And she went, well done to Panama for beating Trinidad and Tobago in the. She referred to them as two countries. It was actually quite funny. So anyway, Atty and Zhao have come up with this little club of being like fourth choice guys. Do you know what I mean? Like, we're just going to sit here, guys. And,
like I said before, they're like mates together as well, aren't they?
Yeah,
it's like they've sat in Settee Colley in Hillsborough after training and gone, right, how do we get back in here? Like, let's leg up Steve Fletcher on his way for his new hair transplant. Let's put the brakes on Fessi's electric bike. We can do this, we can do it. And if we get in, we can prove it. And they have. They've worked so hard. But like you said, Fudge, neither of them look like classic frontmen, do they? When they run with the ball, neither of them look like they know what they're doing. But then they just turn and they'll do something. You think, you weren't expecting that, were you? Hey.
For me, it's when you've got you doing these little step overs and drag bikes and Rabonas, and you're thinking, what? How does a man that big move his legs that quick? You know what I mean? You look at players like Maradona back in the 70s and 80s, and you've got this small diminutive figure with a low centre of gravity pulling out these tricks, and then you've got New. I'm not saying he's in Maradona's class, don't get me, before you start.
No, but, Dave's way better.
I think he is. I think that's offensive to New.
Do you know what? No, fuck it. I'm done with that point. Yeah, well done, Boydie. Well done, Joe, as well. Yeah, move on. We're all moving on.
Whether you're celebrating a birthday, a wedding, or anniversary, maybe you've passed your driving test, or you've landed a new job. Well, whatever your reason for a party, the Riverside Cafe is the perfect location on Catch Bar Lane overlooking Hillsborough Stadium. To inquire about hiring us for your function, call 07989 856 054 or 0114 232 6121.
Right then, ladies and gents, let's crack on with some Wednesday news, shall we? First things first, and of course, being Wednesday fans, has been some scepticalness, if that's a word, about all this. But the season ticket deadline has been extended to a couple more weeks, so people can get their finances in order, get down to the club and get their season tickets extended. Of course, we had the snow. Apparently, there were some website issues. Victoria, I believe your household suffered due to this.
Yeah, well, did they, my lord? Right, I'm going to call him out here. Okay. Our best man, John. Who looks like Barry Bannon. We'll call him Barry. So Barry said he couldn't get online to do it. So my darling fiance also tried, couldn't get online to do it. Nothing was working. I tried it on the iPad, tried it on the MacBook, tried it on the normal laptop, all that like jazz, all on the phones, everything. Couldn't get on. After about an hour of doing it and me complaining to the official Sheffield Wednesday Twitter, who replied to me saying, don't understand, everything's working fine. I got loads of replies to my tweet saying everything's working fine. Turned out John had already done it and not realised. So that was that was why. So John Fitzmaurice, you're an absolute moron. And yes, they have sorted out their season tickets. But I think there were a few problems for people, and there was the snow as well. So he just spent £1,000 without realising and tried to do it again and again and again.
That is beautiful. I tell you what, as well, my favourite thing
in
was
charge of my wedding rings.
yeah, your tweet garnered quite the response. So there's all these people just scratching their head. The mansplaining going on was outstanding.
Yeah, it was fantastic.
You know what I mean? And then
Then I deleted it because I realised what had happened. I was like, you absolute moron.
It's a good job, Victoria. You're not known for flying off the handle at all, isn't it? It's a good job. Calm and collected, and you think things through.
Yes, I got a screaming other half moaning about how it was going to cost him X amount extra because he couldn't do it. I got the other one on the phone moaning that he couldn't do it. I'm trying on all these different. Got my mother logged in. I got everybody doing it, and it turned out he'd already bought the bloody thing. So it's not my fault. That I was trying my best. I was trying to do a service. And actually, in fairness, the website did go down for a few people. And when I went on the homepage of the website, I got 404. And I was like, for Christ's sake, Wednesday. But there was the snow as well. And I think they had to do it, didn't they? And like you said, maybe it was just because of the Leeds win. Maybe it was because of the Fessi back in training. You know, there's all these things being put out since. It's all very clever. Because if you follow Fessi on Instagram, he's been back at training for quite some time.
Yeah.
But they did just happen to put it out this week when they extended the deadline. I don't know. It's not a bad thing, is it, that we get more people through the door?
Yeah, I was going to say, why is it an issue for some people? Why are they a bit annoyed? Like, you know what I mean? Oh, how dare we get people in our stadium? Woo.
I think the actual deadline in the first place was a little bit daft because it fell in the middle of most people's payday. Most people get paid in the middle of the month or at the end of the month, and it felt like neither. It was a bit of a nightmare situation for a lot of people who do live, like, you know, 500 quid's a lot of money to go out your pay packet. So I think it should have been extended anyway. I'm glad they've done it. I've still got another year, and my dad won't extend ours because of my wedding. So I'm stuck really after next year. I'll just have to sit in attic and hope for the best. And in fairness as well, people were moaning on Twitter saying, you know, there's no snow around here, how come you can't open? I tell you what, it was bloody awful on these few roads. It was really, really dangerous, and people would have been the first group of fans to complain if someone had slipped and broken a bone. So fair play to them for closing. There was no way you were getting anywhere on these roads around here. You know, it wasn't a load of crap like some people claimed. It really was dangerous.
Absolutely. Well done, Wednesday, for keeping everybody lovely and safe. Another bit of cracking Wednesday news. Well, I think it is anyway. The club have announced a Sheffield Wednesday Fun Day over the East holiday for the kids and, of course, parents, and I should imagine everybody else who want to go. We're going to open the doors, let the kids go into the changing rooms and have a little look around and play with Ozzy and Barney and face painting and all that kind of thing. I mean, this is just wonderful, wonderful PR for the club, and it's something for the kids to do at half term. I think it's absolutely brilliant.
I think it's brilliant. I think it's what's James's mate called? Catrienne? it's Catrienne now, isn't it?
Don't get me started.
and she came with this reputation from the Charlton fans, and given the fact that they've just taken Lee Bowyer on as their manager, and what a state, it goes a lot further than what sort of state that club's in. But early indications on her are quite good, and I still don't understand to this day how she's got this job. I don't, given her previous role in a football club. But she's here, and the early indications haven't been too bad. We seem to have got a bit more of a hold on the things that were spiralling out of control back of house that we were all complaining about at the beginning of the season, like the 150th gala dinner, the cake ball, the hit disaster. This sort of stuff. So. I'm glad somebody's in there taking the reins, because it was sort of shambles before, and now we've got something for something for the kids to do, which is what a lot of people blame Dylan Quincy on, is that kids have got notes to do now. They've got notes to do. That's why they're drawing on park benches.
Oh, absolutely. It's certainly Sheffield Wednesday's fault.
That's why.
We've never opened the doors before. And clearly, it's our responsibility to look after the children, Fudgy. Oh, boy.
Do you have to be a kid?
I don't think so.
I might book a day off.
Perhaps go and get your face painted with Ozzy. Have a nice Aussie snuggle.
No, you'll just get bloody Vic there on the changing room. On the changing room top, and Dave seat, and you two there with your duvet back over your head and your Dave Club t-shirt. You'll be there.
Just sit there, sit in ice bath, just waiting with a bottle of champagne. Go on, Atty, hop in.
And of course, some of the wonderful Wednesday news this week. I'm sure you guys have seen the pictures of training. Of course, Mr. Forestieri is back.
So excited.
Training away, and Mr. Westwood, of course, he's back as well.
Westwood! Yeah.
So again, there are people that mention that these pictures have been thrown out just because of the season tickets, etc., etc. I think it's just marvellous news. It's going to be brilliant to have everybody back.
You've missed out one of the players mentioned there, my lord. I've screenshotted this and I shall tweet it. I've already sent it to James. Mr. Van Aken is also back at the training ground, and he's been having quite a nice massage of his buttocks this afternoon on Instagram. I'll tweet that out for you now. Enjoy. # Van Aken bum.
The masseuse looks rather thrilled to be doing his job as well, doesn't he?
Wouldn't you? I'm training up myself.
Of course, I'm getting a little bit tired of the cynical element of our fan base. They are mentioning that these, obviously, the fun day, the pictures of the players in training and looking like they're having a wonderful time as well. It's nice to see everybody getting along, and obviously there's players that we've not seen together before. But I'm just getting a bit tired of just, they're only doing this because we've got season tickets. I think it's really, really good. Personally, I feel so much more positive this week than I have done in a long, long time.
I don't know what people expect. Like, how dare the club do some marketing? How dare they? How dare they try and get people on side? Woo, shakes fist. You know what I mean? Come on now. Come on. Why not? Why not release a big lovely video about how great we were all doing and that, and how and fly an owl from the top of the stand around season ticket renewal to, oh wait, we did that as well. Come on. Bloody hell. What are you whinging at?
I mean, looking at these pictures and looking at the things the clubs are doing, and obviously the PR work that's going on in the background, are you guys starting to feel a little bit more positive about this season at all? Are you getting your mojo back?
No, of course we're not. Still shite, isn't it? We're still going to,
not even getting the players back.
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited to see them back. It'll be nice, but I wouldn't risk any more injuries. I think as long as we stay safe now, that's all that matters, and we push on next year. What's the point of rushing people back? What's the point of rushing to get top table? It doesn't matter now. As long as we don't go down, then we rebuild next season. It's just I don't want to put too much pressure on people. I don't think that we need to rush anybody back who don't need to be back. As long as we get those points and we stay safe, that's all that matters now. And then like I said, next year I'll be excited. Come August, I'll be a barrel of nerves.
Yeah, I agree. I think that this season's been a write-off since Christmas time, 100% a write-off since Christmas time, and I just want to see it out now. I'm done with it because if I'm honest, Josh the boss has got some proving to do. Now, I've been relatively quiet on him because I don't feel that he's had a fair crack at the whip given the injuries we've had. But for me, I have got a large concern about Lukai, and I tell you what it is. You've seen these clubs? They get taken over, they have an injection of money, and they seem to have a new gaffer every 6 months, and it's this complete revolving door of just absolute nondescripts and people who you've never heard of. Charlton were a great example of it, if I'm honest. And then the same happened at Fulham. It's happened to Wolves now, and they've just recently got themselves a decent one who's probably going to be there for a while. Watford have done it. That revolving door of managers of just people coming in and going out because the club needs instant success. Do I believe that Chansiri is a bit more frugal than that? I do. But I'm concerned, and it's this whole Doyen Sports thing that everybody seems to be very concerned about. At the minute, it's not really affected us too much. But if it's just this long list of people that just turn up out of nowhere, I'm going to get very concerned. But, however, like I say, he's not had a full squad to pick from since he's walked in the door. So, Christ, I bet he's excited to see Nando running around on a football pitch. That, he's going to go, how is his team doing so badly with this lad here? What's going on? Like, you know what I mean? And I'm excited to see what he does with that. If we're still playing defensive crap football, because, let's be honest, that's what we are, but we need to. If we're still doing that when we've got our full complement of squad back, then I'll be a bit concerned. Or I'll be interested to see what happens. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolute perfect sense. We kind of sort of skirted around the Josh issue because he's not been there too long. But I think it's nice that he is holding players back. It's like having a proper manager back in the team instead of your best mate in charge. I think he's holding the players back, he's thinking about the future, and hopefully he's going to be here for a while and get this all taken care of. Yeah,
and that's a ballsy decision given our position in the league as well.
The thing is as well, like we've talked about, I don't know if I've missed a podcast here, but after the steering group, we were told then that actually Jos is more expensive than Carlos because of what he's done in his past. So, the guy's got history, he's got a bloody good CV there. But like you said, he's at the moment, he's chucking around a few, half injured, newbie players, lots of kids. He's not had that chance yet, and I will be intrigued to see what he's like with that chance. But at the same time, I don't think the pressure needs to be on him now. I think pressure needs to be on them all to stay up, to do well, to finish with some dignity. But that's it. I think next season the pressure's on, and if he is still here in the summer, I don't know what's going to happen. Then he needs to earn his money, and he needs to do something with a squad that Carlos did twice with, and see what happens.
It's like being engaged to whinge, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm already getting my whinge ready for next August.
It doesn't sound like you at all, Fudge, but no, I mean, I get this feeling that we've got an adult in charge now, rather than sort of a teenager. Oh yeah, do what you want, come back and play when you want, and all that kind of thing. But now we've got a manager there that's going to say, right, I'm in charge. You are going to come to training. Hutch said recently in an interview that there has now been different rules at the club, and just to have essentially rules in place, it feels like there is now an adult in charge rather than essentially having you in charge, Fudgy Hubby.
Hey, listen, I am quite the disciplinarian, I'll have you know.
Hit me with your rhythm stick. Hit me slow, hit me quick, Fudgy.
Yeah, I thought that.
But I mean, I don't want to sort of poo-poo what Carlos did. I thought it was fantastic, and when Mr. Chansiri stayed in the steering group, that none of us were moaning when we were on our way to Wembley with the players that we had and everything. I mean, it's all fair play.
Just a brief one on Swansea and Carlos. It seems to have worked for them. I don't know if you've noticed how much people are paying.
It did for us at first.
It did for us at first, and I think that's probably going to be the way, because I think what happened with Carlos is we got found out, and I've noticed that even Swansea are doing it right now. That slow start, that slow build, and then try and kill them. Try and keep them out for the best part of 70 minutes, and they'll kill them in the last 20. It's not a sustainable tactic for me, but somehow we managed to get to 2 playoffs. We should have been higher than playoffs, if I'm brutally honest. But we got to 2 playoffs and brought on Jeremy Haaland to get promoted to the Premier League. But that's all.
That'll never leave you, will it? That
it winds me up. I can't tell you like I think I said it was the one we did with Beastie for our anniversary show, and I did, and I think I said at the time as well, Carlos needs to go because I don't trust him to take us to another playoff. I need it to be automatics, and we all thought we were going to be punching for the automatics, but you know it's not gone that way this season. But then again, it's not just us. Look at teams like Leeds and Reading. They've just got rid of Yap Stan. They were up there with us, and it's not just us. So this is going to be a regrouping season, but I don't see where we have regrouped. I think we've just got the same players. I'm intrigued to see if we open the checkbook in the summer or if we're allowed to. That's always going to be the next big question. But I'm treading on James and Mr. Plowman's toes there, because Christ, that was a lot of maths, wasn't it? That one.
It was a lot of maths, but it made it simple for people like me and you to understand the fudgy, Colby.
Yeah, fair enough.
Just to point out as well, while you're talking about maths, sorry, aren't we still mathematically able to get to the playoffs? Isn't that still like an opportunity at the moment? So who knows?
Wow, yeah. Brilliant. That's if nobody else scores any points.
I believe it was the Sheffield Wednesday or the SWFC supporters club that stuck a tweet out saying 21 points shy of the playoffs, 24 to play for. Can we do it? Well, hell yes we can. Of course we can. Can't we, boys and girls?
James is now absolutely choking on his beer listening to this now. I can see what's the matter with you? I can't imagine it all.
Well, actually, as we speak, James is in a lovely vegan restaurant eating something brown and stuff. It sounds awful.
Oh, of course he is. What a snob.
He's not a snob.
Bloody hell.
He's lovely, is that, Jay?
No, is he snorting avocado? God, just my head in, honestly. Him and Catrienne. Jog on.
Best of friends. Of course, there has been a little bit of other good news as well for the Easter break. The away kit, the yellow kit, has been made half price. I quite like this kit. I don't know if it's going to run along with some sales.
It is truly the worst football shirt I have seen in a horrendously long time.
A little bit.
It is by far and away the truly, absolutely gut-wrenching, god-awful load of old pish, that kit. I've never seen out like it, and to now know that there's going to be...
Don't hold back, Fudge. Don't hold back.
It's just
Say what you think.
Awful. Do you know what I mean? Who sat there looking at colour swatches going, hey, what colour are we going to make this kit? Hey, I know, the colour of your wee after a night out drinking spiced rum. Let's go with that one. Do you know what I mean? Oh, God, it's bloody awful. I'm glad it's cheap, because it looks cheap. It does look like an IKEA uniform. And the fact that New has to wear that white dress underneath it, just because he can't fit it, just shows what a crap garment it is. I'm done. I'm out. I've finished now.
I don't think it's that hideous, but it's not nice, is it? I mean, it's not. I'm not going to go and buy one. If it was the home shirt on sale at half price, do you know what? I probably would, and I would, yeah, just to have one, just to keep, anniversary. What a year to celebrate anniversary shirt. But yeah, the away kit doesn't really appeal to me. I don't want to kill puppies with it like Fudge, but I'm not a fan of it.
Why are we killing puppies?
I don't know, you seem that angry.
Yeah, it is a good puppy killing shirt, to be fair.
But yeah, get the other one on sale. I'll have one of them. I'm not paying for an away shirt that I never buy away shirts. I can't remember the last away shirt I bloody bought. I think it was that black one with Children's Hospital logo, and I think I've got one of them somewhere. But other than that, I don't buy away shirts. Don't go to away games. I feel like a bit of a hypocrite buying an away shirt. But if you put home shirt on offer, I'll have one. I'll have one of them. But no Telstar.
I think you'd be really, really good in the club shop, Vic. I don't know if you've seen, but there is a vacancy at the club at the moment for a purchaser. So you could be that lovely person in the club shop that buys all the wonderful things for us to buy forwards.
Is it?
Yeah.
I haven't seen this. I'm going to apply. Unless my line manager is listening, in which case, of course, I'm not going to apply. And I'm definitely not Googling it right now.
I think it'd be perfect for you, Vic. Absolutely perfect. We're going to moan at you. There's also a vacancy for an assistant groundsman as well, which I think Fudge would do a good job at running around with his fork at half time, stabbing it here and stabbing it there. You know, that's a good stab, does old Fudge, isn't he?
Oh, it's an actual shit shoveling. Yeah. Yeah, that sounds great, yeah.
I don't know if you've noticed as well, but the pitch in places is starting to look a little bit iffy as well. I mean, this is supposed to be like an indestructible pitch. Is this something that you guys have noticed at all?
I haven't. No, I've not.
Are you
It's not something I've noticed.
Yay, surprise! Bloody hell.
Well, these things are supposed to be indestructible. These Deso businesses, aren't there? It's supposed to be wonderful.
Yeah. Yeah, probably was. So was like our budget for this year. So was our chances of getting in the chuffing Premier League. It's all gone to cock, hasn't it? I'm not surprised. Pitch has. It's probably had enough. I've got a bloody palm bush thing floating around my garden, so I'm not surprised. It's absolutely awful, yeah. But no, it was never going to work. It was never going to work. Never going to work.
I certainly think that your positivity would stand you in good stead for working at Hillsborough again, and of course with you in the shop and Fudge doing his business on the pitch, it's all going to be good news.
I'm not interested unless I've got one of them ride-along mowers. You know what I mean? I quite like the idea of one of them. I mean, of course this pitch isn't keeping out. With the amount of shit that's on it this season, I'm not surprised.
Classic Fudge. The last little bit of Wednesday news that we have for this evening is that the Wednesday Tap, the wonderful new sort of on-site pub bar thing, is now going to be serving food. The chap that's in charge of that, Mr. Cox, who we had the pleasure of meeting whilst we were at the Tap doing the our sort of little special episode thing. Lovely fella. Also in charge of the cake bowl for the 150th anniversary as well, which was incredibly unique and fantastic. So do have a little look at the
just throw that one in there.
It was unique. It was marvellous. And now he's done this wonderful menu. This is a very unique thing that we have done. Nobody else has done it, and I think Rob's done a fantastic job over there. I really, really do. Don't Fudge.
That's shambles that was our cake bowl, and thought, fuck that. I'm not even going to bother.
It's a very positive spin, that, Lord H. Yeah, look how unique we are. No, not that nobody else has done one because it's naff as fuck. But no, it's because we're unique, mate. Unique.
Next year we're going to make a giant scone.
Here's me trying to be all positive in the most positive week we've had in ages on the podcast. Ages.
Get us on then. Bloody hell. If you want positivity, you want James on. You don't want me and Fudge. Christ.
I'm starting to feel, starting to see how Josh feels now with sort of a second string team trying to plough along regardless and get things done.
Me and Fudge are like the Atty and Rhodes of the podcast. And it's all gone to shit. Oh, Butterfield and Rhodes. Bring them on. They'll sort it out.
Oh, honestly, I try, legends, I try. Right then, boys and girls, do you have any other little bits for this evening?
No. No, I'm not told what to say. I've told him off. We had to go to stop recording. We've recorded now. It was awful. You're welcome. I'm fed up with people on social media stealing our videos. If you want to share our video, share the YouTube link so that we get the hits on our video and therefore we get sponsorship money. And not from YouTube, I must admit. But do you not think that when we put our proposal out for sponsorship, we put our social media hits in there to advertise to potential sponsors? Yes, we do. So please, if you're going to plagiarise our stuff, at least give us a link and some credit for it. Other than that, I'm out. I'm out.
Vic, if somebody would like to share our videos, as long as it's got our branding on, then by all means, please do so. We appreciate it, Vic. We do.
And a link, my lord. We need the hits. We need the figures to be able to show to sponsors. You don't have to deal with this. It's me and James that have to arse around Sheffield getting sponsorship. Not you. Bloody hell.
And you do a good job of it. You really,
all right.
do.
And next week on Vic's Soapbox.
Well,
bloody hell. I love that. I ain't heard that phrase in a long time. Well, like that very Yorkshire way of saying, if the shoe fits, wear it. Do you know what I mean? I enjoy that.
But no, Vic and of course James do a wonderful job of presenting our little podcast to our marvellous sponsors, so we can keep bringing this free of charge every single week. You do a wonderful job, Vic. Thank you.
Yeah,
I tell you what,
we're
actually,
all breaking it in, aren't we? Bloody hell!
in reference to the Don't Worry Be Atty video, right? Kudos on managed to get so much airtime out of it, Lord H. After we did it, how many years ago now? It's about 4 years old, and every
it's
time,
old logo, isn't it?
yeah, every time Atty plays well, we wheel it out again. I absolutely love it. But we've had an endorsement for it as well, and it's not the numbers of people watched it. It's not the numbers of people tagging their Leeds mates in it. It's my little brother. I have two twin brothers, obviously, and they're 15. They're 16 in about a week and a half. Just reminded myself then. But you know what 15-year-olds like? They don't like anything, and he shared it on his own Facebook wall. 15-year-old. I thought so. Yeah. So we're one of the cool kids now. So take that, innit?
Absolutely. I've always said it. We are proper down with the kids and dat and ting in it. Brap and dat ting.
We should have done a Westwood poo at the front.
There was another little video we popped out on the social medias to a rather funky hibbity-hobbity song, as again the kids say. So if you would like to see our social media bits and bobs, and please do share them as long as they do have our branding on it. If they don't, Vic, would you like to step in and rant?
Speak for yourself.
Beware the Vic.
Appreciate it. I want my links. I want my hits. I want to be able to hand that back to the sponsor and say, here you go. And do you know what? Without a sponsor, we've got no bandwidth. Without bandwidth, we haven't got a podcast. So I'm not being funny. I haven't had a penny out in it. I just want to be able to prove that it's worth the sponsorship. That's all I'm asking.
The irony of Vic saying, stop stealing our stuff, coming from the lady who, when we first put that video up, texted us all saying, how do I turn off bloody notifications for this fucking thing?
Well, that would do it my head in, that's all. Yeah, well, I did it.
It was tinkling a little bit.
I don't get any now, so I don't know if people have even replied to me. I don't care.
Well, if people would like to reply to Victoria and find out about the wonderful sponsorship opportunities that are available for the Wednesday Week podcast, where can we do that, my dear?
I'm at Sausage Arms, so that's Sausage Arms, or you can find me at Victoria1867.
And Fudge, oh boy, where can people find your bits and bobs online, old bean?
I'm at Dan Fudge, and yep, all my bits and bobs are all over there.
Of course, get hold of me over there at Lord H. That's L0RD_H. Get hold of the podcast at TWWcast. Find us on Facebook. We are trying to do a little bit more on Facebook. We are a little bit, we're not really Facebook type people, but we're going to try to be a little bit more. And of course, on the YouTubes and everywhere else. It has been a pleasure, as always, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for joining us.
See you later.
Be good, be safe, and we shall see you real soon.